it's Jen with Astrology. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing the weekly astrology forecast from August 20th through the 26th. So let's start with the 22nd. Not much has happened earlier in the week. So on Tuesday the 22nd, we have Venus that is currently in Leo and is coming into a square with Jupiter that is in Taurus over here. So you see when they're both fixed signs, they're going to be square to each other. So that's 90 degrees apart. So they are both known as the two benefics. The greater benefic, which is Jupiter, and then the lesser benefic, which is Venus. And really depending on if you have a night chart or day chart, that makes a difference. But pretty much in general, they are beneficial planets to us. So Venus in Leo, it puts us, front and center. Again, we want attention. We want things relished upon us. We want beauty. We want to, fluff our hair and look good. And you love socializing, getting out there with your friends, hanging out, maybe, having some drinks, being the center of attention. Food, things that Venus loves: food, drinking, having the best things in life, dressed to the nines, having a good time, just everything fun, loving, happy. So with the square, the two benefics might actually bring us a little bit of detriment. So why is that? Because squares are kind of an uneasy aspect. So when you see these two coming together, it might bring out kind of the negative aspects of both of them. So when you think of what could be a negative aspect of Jupiter, when you think of the things that, Venus loves. So Jupiter has a way of expanding things. It has a way of, abundance, maybe even a gluttonous type thing. So if you're thinking, the summer months, you're going out, you're having fun, and you're drinking, you're sunbathing, to get that nice glow, and, having a little too much food, doing barbecues, cookouts, all that, the detriment that could bring is maybe, too much time in the sun. You could get sunburn, too much drinking, get hungover, not feel quite so well, too much food, maybe you kind of gained a little bit. Having the best in life can sometimes get overdone, and, even spending too much money on doing all these things, buying the things that you love, because Venus loves beautiful things. So, buying a lot of clothes and makeup and just trying to look your best, might be overdoing it a little bit. So with this Venus in retrograde, we might be fighting what we've done over the summer. So because we have done these things, because we ate too much on vacation, too many barbecues, too many sunbathing, maybe we, are over drinking, over, kind of celebrating, overeating. What are we doing to kind of counterbalance that? Now that Venus is going retrograde, we're looking, trying to see what we can do to fix that, with that square to, what did we do that was too much, that was in abundance, that, brought us some issues that we're now going to look back on and work on a little bit. So, were you overly frivolous? Were you overly generous with your money? Are you trying to pay back from those extravagances? Venus represents money. So did you spend too much? Did you give away too much? Were you just kind of like, ooh, making it rain? Trying to, it's the planet of generosity is Jupiter. Were you being too generous? Now you have to go back and you have to kind of reap what you sowed from that and pay back your bills. Are you trying to reel it in? Like, reel it back, take it back, think of that retrograde as kind of, controlling the debts that might have gotten out of control, controlling that weight that might have gotten out of control from the overeating and over drinking, So, just got to watch that Jupiter, that expansion, that extravagance that, kind of brought us to this place, which is something that happens over the summer. It's just a lot of fun. You're eating out all the time and, hanging out with friends. And, it's very easy to get caught up in that and not kind of think of how you're going too far. So also happening on the 22nd, it's a busy day, but it all kind of is going to flow together, which I'll explain. So we have Mars that's in Virgo up here, and that is in opposition to Neptune, which is in Pisces. So you see they're completely opposite each other. So it's kind of like the polarity, and so there is a kind of little push and pull kind of feel right there. So along with that Venus square Jupiter, we, have this opposition going on. So oppositions also can be known to be not quite so comfortable, a little bit difficult, because you have that, back and forth, kind of that teeter-totter, like one thing. So you may feel a little bit sluggish, especially with the, overindulgence that we might have done with that other square, that with that Jupiter in there, that now we're kind of fighting back with that Venus in retrograde. Maybe we're discouraged. Oh God, I have to go out in my bathing suit and I look awful, or something like that. I have no money and I have school things coming up and I have to buy school clothes and all new fall outfits. So we could be discouraged. We could feel a little bit also unsure. What are we gonna do? We have Neptune in there, which kind of makes everything a little bit fuzzy, kind of skews everything, kind of makes us a little bit confused as, what direction we want to go. We have, Mars that wants to get going. We have Neptune that's all, woo, what are we doing? Kind of keeping us a little bit on the, smoky, flaky side. So again, especially now with that opposition, anything, that is Neptune-y, especially Neptune in Pisces, it's a lot of kind of not wanting to be in your normal head, that escapism kind of feel. So you really, again, with that overindulgence that we have with that Jupiter square, are we overindulging in maybe alcohol, drugs, something to kind of take us out of our heads a little bit too much? Is that getting out of control? Maybe that overeating and whatnot, we don't have the energy to exercise. So maybe that is what's holding us back and we just don't know how to get started. I totally feel this going on with me. It's just been one family get together after another. We just got back from vacation. Of course, if you watched my previous video, we were in Maine, near Portland, Maine, and if anyone knows anything about Portland, Maine, it has pretty much the best seafood in the entire world. So, of course, we were a little bit overindulgent, and on the rainy days, which we had some, we were maybe, hit the breweries a little too much. So, this is how you might have this. So now that I'm back, getting up early, I got up first thing this morning, did yoga, kind of trying to get back in the swing of things again. How should I start? What should I do to kind of get back motivated, get our heads on straight, use that Virgo to kind of cement us to the ground, to kind of get more fixed, or not more fixed, but more grounded, and kind of, deal with what we've done. Virgo is a mutable sign, and it's about kind of, cleaning up the end of the season, pretty much. It's like the cleanup crew coming in and fixing and kind of going with what did we do? Let's clean it up. Let's fix this, and let's get ready for the next season. So you might also feel, because of that Neptune in there, that you have been maybe deceived in some way. So it's, might feel like somebody's keeping secrets from you, someone's not being completely honest. You might not even know this for sure. It could be just something in your head. Mars has a tendency to jump to conclusions. it's in Virgo, so it's just like, I'm thinking this and I'm writing down this, and as I'm deducing back, maybe I'm figuring out, this person's wronging me, or something like that. Have you lowered your guard, because of the Venus coming in here, and the Jupiter? Have you lowered your guard for those things that are larger than life? That Jupiter, for those things that, just that feel good maybe temporarily and aren't necessarily good for you. So, we have Mars is a quick moving planet. Hopefully you'll get back on track pretty quickly. And the 23rd comes along, Wednesday, we have the sun moving into Virgo. We talked a little bit about this in the last video, but a little bit in a different aspect of it. Now is the time to really rid yourself of that excess. So, Virgo is kind of about trimming the fat, figuratively and literally. So you just kind of fine-tuning from that summer extravagance, with the sun moving into this mutable sign again. Virgo bringing the ending of the summer season. Time to really clean up those loose ends from the summer. If you've been gardening, maybe kind of, picking your garden, looking through what's grown, what's, and kind of get out of that, which you have. My son actually just brought me yesterday a bowl about this big filled with tomatoes. So he's pretty much reaping what he sowed through this summer. And that's about excess. You think about excess. There's a bowl of tomatoes like this. What am I going to do with all these things? But luckily I like them. We'll figure something out. But so that is that Jupiter, growing things, everything expanding, and abundance of something. So at least that's a healthy abundance to have. Anyway, so again, we're going to be starting to prepare for that fall season. Boo, not fun. We like summer. Summer's fun. Fall, I love fall. I live in New England. Fall is the, epitome of New England, with the changing leaves and, just that kind of Halloween-y feel. I go to Salem every year. It's a lot of fun. Salem, Mass, if anyone's familiar with that. You can find all sorts of things on the witch trials, and it's just a lot of fun. And Halloween season, fall season in New England is great. But we'll get into that once fall. We're still in summer, so let's not rush it. So again, the mutable sign, Virgo. We're winding down from that vacation life, from that kind of, just that being outside, beaching, just fun, and kind of getting more down to serious. So, Virgo, focus on what we need to get going. Are we going back to school? All right, what do we need? Do we need notebooks, pens, this? So Virgo loves making lists. So, keep your list. What do you need to get ready to school, to go back to school? Your first day of school outfit, all your school essentials that you might need. If you're going off to college, what things do you need for your dorm? I know that's already getting started, people going back to college. I see a lot of my friends with younger children on the social media websites. They are showing pictures of, sending their kids off to college and getting them into their dorm. So it's all about kind of getting that preparation to go on to the next phase. So you want to write that checklist. Check it once, check it twice, cut out all the excess from it. What's not necessary. We want to trim this down, and, enough with the excess. We want to get serious. We got holiday seasons coming up. So, think about the way all of this kind of flows together, and think about how it all just starts making sense the more that you hear about what the signs are all about, what the planets are all about, and how they flow from season to season. So now we're about just getting serious, getting back to school, getting back to work, getting back, out of that vacation mindset, and to get ready for, reality, and preparing for, the inevitable winter, and whatnot. So keep in mind, Virgo is that earth sign, so it's also about just becoming more responsible. So that playtime in the summer is kind of going by the wayside, and we're getting a little more serious. So also on the 23rd, we have Mercury station retrograde. So I did talk about this in the past video. I will put a link to that in the description. But again, you know, if you don't have time to watch it, or just to sum it up, definitely go back and watch it. It's a lot of fun. But it's kind of, you know, it's about that fine tuning, that, you know, ridding the excess spending, excess weight, etc. So, you know, Mercury stationing retrograde, thinking about, okay, so what did I do? Do I need this? What did I do wrong? Let me think back. Kind of going back and fine tune a little bit. Getting back to school, going back to college. So Mercury retrograde, going back to learning new things, getting back serious again. So ultimately, yeah, so check out that much longer, more in-depth explanation of the Mercury retrograde, which I'll leave a link for in the description. So on the 24th, we have Mars that's in Virgo. Again, Mars is a little busy boy, and that is in a trine to Pluto that is in Capricorn. So, you know, Pluto is at about the 28th degree of Capricorn, and Mars is at the end degrees of Virgo. So again, and I've talked about this before, you have that rushed feeling when you're getting to the end degrees, especially when you're a planet like Mars. You're wanting to finish things up. Your Mars in a mutable sign. Something needs to be completed. You know, you feel like you have a deadline. You feel like you have, you know, I need to get this done, and almost kind of like that panicky, maybe unsettled. Yeah, I don't know. You might not know what it is off the top of your head, because, you know, we still got that opposition with Neptune in the mix. So, you know, what is it? You know, you wake up in the middle of the night, you have that urgency feeling, and you're just trying to figure out, what is it that I'm trying to do that I haven't gotten done that I need to get done? I know that's something that happens to me all the time. You wake up and you just have to just lay there and think about it. And if you don't, you know, your mind just churns. I'm a Libra sun, so air signs, we do tend to overthink things, and I overthink to the extreme. I'm like the poster child for overthinking things. So, you know, if you're feeling that that you need to get things done, Mars is going to be moving out and into the sign of Libra, which is going to be the sign of its detriment, but it is also a cardinal sign. So we'll get into that a little bit with next week's, or I think even Thursdays. We'll see. But that's kind of going to be kind of a bigger, larger, because Mars about starting things, doing things, taking that initiation, but it is in the opposite of its sign of dignity, which is in Aries. So it's in, you know, it's a we sign and not an I sign, which Mars isn't always so thrilled about. Anyway, that's not happening yet, but that's what's going to be coming up. So what are we feeling that we need to finish? So with the trine, we have Pluto, you know, in there. Get ready to go deep. Again, you know, those, I don't know how many of you it happens to, but to me, again, it happens all the time, where you wake up in the middle of the night and you just can think so much deeper sometimes at that time, because you don't have all the distractions at night. You know, you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's just no noise. Everything's quiet, everything's dark, and your mind can just really kind of go inside of itself. Or is it something that you're learning, or, you know, maybe a new activity, something that's kind of captivating, piquing your interest a little bit, that could kind of turn into an infatuation. Pluto's in there, could turn into an obsession. So if it is trying out a new activity, learning something new, it is a time to really immerse yourself into it. Take in all that you can. You know, really dig deep, dive deep, and see what you can learn, and go after what motivates you. You know, the sky's the limit. We still have, with that opposition to, we might not know what we want, but again, the sky's the limit. There's no boundaries. So use that Mars, like just go after it. Fine tune what you need to go on to the next, to the next chapter, to the next season, to, whatever comes next for you. If this is a new person that you might be meeting, or, even something kind of sexual in nature, that's very Marsy. Mars is a very, very sexual planet. So especially where it might hit off of one of your planets, one of your luminaries, one of your angles, if it's going through your 7th house, depends on where it all falls for you, depends on how this is going to affect you. So again, if it is somebody new in your life, something, kind of a sexual relationship that might be starting, you could feel just like totally enchanted by this person, this new relationship. You could feel like a possessiveness almost for them, or for somebody that you already are with. Maybe it's just like a kind of a repossession. If it is, in your 7th house, maybe it's that, because I've been talking about kind of rekindling. We're, got Venus still going retrograde, rekindling, not even maybe an old flame, but a current flame, but trying to kind of bring back the spark. So maybe you're going to kind of, get caught back up, get more possessive, like, ooh, this is my man, this is, whatever. Maybe this person is going to be kind of mesmerizing to you. With the Neptune in there, it's got us on cloud 9, just woo, they're so great, seeing everything with rose-colored glasses, could lead to tunnel vision. When you're thinking of tunnel vision, you don't see anything on the outside, no peripheral. So you kind of want to, expand that so you don't just focus on one thing. So you don't, you have to kind of see everything that's going on. Take it all in. Don't just, get led away by, what your fantasy might be, what that rosy, with the cherry on top could, be kind of tricking you into. And don't let yourself get too swept away by it, because, it could be short lasting. You don't want to let jealousy take over. And you don't want that to get the best of you. You don't want to become obsessed, because you want to make sure that you're on the same playing field as this person. Because again, with Mars moving out and into the sign of Libra, it kind of goes from me to we. And you want to, take away from that kind of like, I want you, I'm possessions, you're mine, to like, hey, let's be, a balanced couple, let's be equal in this relationship. And, Mars, again, not a super fan of that. So again, where does this fall in your chart? So we kind of talked about it a little bit, but again, if it's in your 7th house, it could be kind of rekindling that old relationship, really finding new sparks there. Even kind of like, we got to figure this out with, if it's coming to the end of, your 6th house, maybe, like say that your 6th house is Virgo and then your 7th house is Libra. Okay, so we are needing to fix what's wrong. We're going to pinpoint what it is. We're going to fine tune what it is. We're going to cut out the excess, cut out the things that are causing us pain and grief and problems, and focus on the we and not the me, and focus on how are we going to go forward. Libra, new season, cardinal sign, how are we going to go forward and make this change? You can kind of see it in other aspects too. If say it's in your 9th house, say Virgo's in your 9th house going into your 10th house. So we have, Virgo, learning things. Okay, I want to learn everything I can about this topic, so then I can move forward in the next chapter. And, if I have Libra in my 10th house, which I do, which I'm trying to do, I said in a past video that I'm really trying to get back into tarot. I'm tying it in with astrology, to just kind of, they all kind of jive in a way. All the occult sciences, again, they jive in a way. So I'm really kind of immersing myself in that, reading my books, going through my tarot, and, matching everything up, and, so then what can I do, maybe career-wise, or, in a work or a, that reputation kind of, to kind of bring that out. So maybe, I'll do once I get this all fine-tuned and once I get it all down, by the end of September, hopefully, because I have been working on it. I have been cramming a lot for a little while now. So maybe I'll bring a series of videos about that. I think that might be a lot of fun. So that can kind of be how it might work for learning, higher learning, furthering your learning, and then going into the next phase with it. So, where does this fall for you? If you need a chart, contact me, astrology@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to get you one. I'll even put a little description if you say, like, oh, this is what I'm looking for, this is the video that gave me the idea. I'll love to help you out. So definitely feel free to contact me. And if you're just looking for a free one that you can pull up whenever you want, go to astro.com. They're free. Put in your birthplace, time, and date. And please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We're really building lately. I see my numbers going up, and it's so great that I'm reaching out to you guys. I see people from all different countries out there. So if you, please do subscribe. Not if you do subscribe, but definitely subscribe, and put a little comment in the comment section of where you're watching from, and how you found out about the channel, and hit the like button, and definitely hit that notification bell so you can keep up and we can keep on this journey together. I look forward to it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.